Hey ladies! Okay, so at the time of recording, our 3-day cleanse or 3-day refresh is 10% off individually, and then it is always discounted in a challenge pack with the Shakeology. So I just finished one and had amazing results. Really enjoyed the cleanse. I feel amazing after. I'm totally loving it, and it is definitely booming my business. And so I wanted to share with you guys, booming my business, whatever. It's one of my favorite tools. You know, the 3-day refresh is one of my favorite tools. It has helped me in times where I couldn't work out or, if you watched my video testimonial, which I will get to, I shared what the cleanse did for me 1 month post broken neck. And it was everything. So just know that it's so much more than just a cleanse. And we'll get to that. But I want you guys to, if you're going to do one, which I recommend doing one. If you haven't, I recommend doing one. If you are breastfeeding, I don't recommend doing one under 12 months because you release the toxins through your breast milk. So just a disclaimer in there. Personally, I did a cleanse. I was nursing Elsie and she was 16 months old. And I say 12 months because at that point they're eating solid food at least like 3 times a day, if not more. So you are not their main source of main source of nutrients. And with Elsie, even at 16 months, she got constipated. And the cleanse can make you a little constipated as well. As in it kind of slows things down instead of revving them up, which is nice because that's a main question about people have, like, am I gonna all day, right? And so no is the answer there. Good to know. That is one of the most popular questions I get. The second is, can you eat? So my best tips for you personally to get the most out of the cleanse for your body. I'm sorry, I should have grabbed this before. I'm going to go grab the meal plan real quick. I know it, but okay. So you get the guide, right? And look through it, right? Read through it. Be that person and encourage them to as well. And it straight up starts with what you'll be eating and drinking during the 3-day cleanse. So have all of the things. If it says wake up and drink 8 to 12 ounces of water, wake up and drink 8 to 12 ounces of water. I don't drink super fast when I first wake up. It's like the only time in the world I don't drink like a fish. And so I would wait until I was done drinking my 8 to 12 ounces, and then I would wait an hour after that for my Shakeology. It says Shakeology is supposed to be within an hour of waking up, but it's also supposed to be like, within an hour of the water. I don't know. Anyways, so drink water in the morning, then you have your Shakeology and your fruit option. I actually really like to have food that I can eat several times a day. So you can add frozen banana into your shake because you should be using water. Or I had pumpkin spice on hand, and I actually don't mind the pumpkin spice and water. So I did pumpkin spice water, and then I had fruit on the side. And in the morning, I would take a picture of my water, and it would go in my stories. And maybe it was like a sad face because I didn't have my mom juice. Or maybe I just talked about how I didn't have my mom juice, and I was sad and feeling it. Like I shared in my stories, okay? And I'm just going to lump these two in because they go hand in hand. The way that I shared in my stories helped me get better results because every time I did something, it's all timed. You need to do everything at least 1 hour after the last thing. And mom life, mom brain, I'm never going to remember all the things. So when I have my water in the morning, I share that, right, with my morning routine. And then when I have my breakfast, I took a picture. It's literally, if you watched my stories, it was the same spot in my dining room. I put every meal there and I took a picture and I just shared it to my stories. So breakfast was like, I was like, this meal is nothing different for me. It's a shake and some fruit. And then an hour after shake, you can have caffeinated tea or black coffee. Personally, I had black coffee and I even added cannabis to it. So I do have a medical card. If you're watching this outside of my team, that is part of my tribe. I'm open with it. And so showing my target market, showing them that they can still have a medicated coffee on a cleanse, like it's all about showing them that it's not miserable. Like, I'm not really miserable. Like, I missed my performance line and I did not hide it because it is a crucial part of my day and I love it. But I wasn't like miserable about anything else. Like, so after coffee is the fiber sweep. It's the part of the cleanse that I don't like. So we did it live a couple days, or the one day I just shook a picture of the packet. But again, I'm putting all this up there since I had my coffee. Now it's time for my fiber sweep. With the hour events, if you can just check in my stories. Oh, it's been at least an hour. I'm good to go, because I'm not going to remember. And then it gets 9 o'clock at night and you're trying to eat dinner and you're like, oh, well, I just won't do it. And then you're not doing all of the things and following the cleanse how you're supposed to. So it really helps you stay on track, and it lets everyone else know that it's totally doable. And when you're sharing something every hour, like all I shared for 3 days was like food, and people were like, man, this chick's just like eating all the time, and then she loses weight and then she's feeling great. Like, what is happening? Because I don't always share all my meals, but when I do a cleanse, it's like all you see. So they're just seeing food and snacks and drinks and food and snacks and drinks for all day for 3 days, and it does not seem like I'm depriving my body and I'm miserable or I'm doing some like crazy juice cleanse. So even just that is so helpful to lay the groundwork for then when you share the results, people they don't have as many questions. They're just like, how much is it? And we'll get to that. We'll get to how I handle that. But the more you share, the less they ask you about, because I'm sharing it all while I'm doing it. And I give people a heads up, and I tell them a heads up, hey, and I'll make a post and tell them, make sure you're watching my stories, about the cleanse. I let them know I'm doing the cleanse, why you should do a cleanse, what I'm expecting to get out of the cleanse. Like, all of these things are being shared. Okay, so fiber sweep, down the hatch. Here's my tip. I told you I'd give you the best. 8 ounces. It says 10. I go like 8. It's gross. It's the consistency, not the taste. The taste is fine. For me, it's the consistency. So 8 ounces of cold water, add your fiber. That helps, because when I try to chug it, like actually chug it, I almost like gag. And that's just me I have weird texture consistency issues sometimes, and that is one of them for me. But if I blend it and then drink it quickly, because if you let it sit, it will clump. So just shake it and chug if you want. If that did not go so well for you, you have it once every day, and that's it. Once a day for 3 days. And this time it didn't even bother me like at all. I was actually like, oh, that kind of tastes good, because I blended and drank it from a straw really quickly. And I even I did it live, like on my stories. I blended and then I drank it quickly through the straw, and I was like, I burped up and I was like, lemony. And all real, right? So make sure you're sharing it, make sure you're doing it. Give your feedback and be like, yeah, so, did not care for that fiber sweep, gonna try something different tomorrow. And then try something different and be like, that was much better, right? If it made you throw up, like, maybe don't share that. Anyways, so an hour after the fiber sweep, you have lunch. You have a vanilla shake, a fruit, veggie, and a healthy fat option. So here's my tip on this. Alternate between hot and cold. That's fine. But you have a veggie and a healthy fat for lunch and a veggie and a healthy fat for afternoon snack. And I would not have the same or even double cold things. So things that we've done is just grill up zucchini. There are free seasonings that you can use, and oil is one of the healthy fats. So we just fried, like not fried, but grilled, well, I mean, kind of in oil, it was a little. There's no like breading or anything on it though. So some seasoning, some oil, and zucchini on a skillet, and it was really good, and it was satisfying because it's warm food, right? If I'm just eating a bunch of raw food, sometimes I really like crave the other things. So I do the shake in water, and I add cinnamon. So shake, water, the vanilla shake, water, ice, cinnamon. I really think that the cinnamon and the vanilla is really good. And normally I'm like, oh, vanilla shakes. And this time I was like, I mean, I enjoyed every single piece of the cleanse this time. I don't know if my body really needed it or if these tips are just like, I've perfected it over the years. But if you're trying it, give it a go. Let me know what you think. And then again, so I would have a picture of a full shake. They know I have a shake for one meal a day anyway. So now my lunch is a shake plus half a whole orange, and I would do the 2 slices of the orange, and then whatever veggie I had, like one day I had celery. You can have a ton of celery. So I had half of the amount of celery plus the zucchini and some hummus. And it was like a full plate of food. And I was like, this is my lunch. Cleansing. So like get, you know, and I was really full and satisfied from that lunch. And then an hour later, I'm like, I don't even know if I need a snack. But one day we made kale chips. Kale and oil is your healthy fat. We made a full tray. Like it was more kale than you're supposed to have, but whatever, it's kale. We cooked the whole tray of kale snacks, and that was our afternoon snack. We just ate a bowl of kale chips. Like, I didn't feel like I was cleansing. It was so good. I lost 3.5 pounds that day. I was like, damn, loving this. That not even creative with it. Just pick some of those veggies in there, cook them, you know, and don't have just veggies and hummus every meal. It really just does help you feel full and satisfied, and it gives your body more of a range of nutrients. Afternoon snack, again, it's just fruit. Oh. Is veggie and healthy fat. So we did kale chips one day, we did grilled zucchini one day, and then one day we just did, you can even do nut butter, almond butter. I almost said the autocorrect, but I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, so I'm not going to. For Krista watching it in our chat. Okay, moving on. Our team is so fun. So afternoon snack, there's also tea in there. So after the afternoon snack, after an hour after that, there's an uncaffeinated tea, an herbal tea, and I would have my tea and I would put my little like stem thing in there. So again, I'm having medicated tea in the afternoon. So I'm showing my target market, okay, this is the second time I've had a medicated drink while cleansing. And all you've seen all day is all the food that I'm eating because I shared the snack again. Every step I shared on my stories because it helped me stay on track for things an hour after. And I would really only get hungry at the times of the meals. On day 1, I did have a little bit of a headache. I took a Tylenol and I upped my water. It went away. I felt better. On day 2, I had a little bit of a headache, but it went away on its own with water and I think afternoon tea. So don't skip any of the things. I love the afternoon tea. I love the evening tea. I don't always do the evening tea because sometimes I fall asleep, but Cobra. Then dinner. So dinner, you get a shake. You get a cup of vegetable broth. It says optional. And this is the first time, I'm coming for it. Hang on, yes. This is the first time that we've ever done it, and I highly recommend. Hang on, Cora. Okay, well, hang on. Here, you want some water? Okay, well, then just sit for a second. You have to wait. Here you go. Just 1 second. What was I saying? Dinner. Okay, so the cup of vegetable broth, we actually had some chopped up fresh green onions in our fridge that needed used, and I was like, wait a sec here. So it's 1 cup vegetable broth, and we threw some slices of green onions in there and heated it up for 2 minutes in the microwave, and it was like This is delicious. It was like a warm cup of soup. It was actually a full bowl, a warm bowl of soup. So I had a bowl of soup, and then I had my bowl of veggies, and then I have a shake. And I'm like, here's my dinner. And one night I heated up my vegetables and I left them in the microwave. I even forgot them in there. And I was even saying like, wow, it was that soup was really good. Soup, I call it soup. It was broth and onions. But I don't even, I feel full and satisfied. Mark's like, yeah, I had to force myself to drink my shake. And then we were going to bed and he's like, you didn't eat your vegetables. And I was like, yes, I did. Because I had 2 or 3 bites and they were cold. And I was like, oh, I didn't. So I had them for the next day for lunch. And I shared that too. And not that I was like, oh, skip your dinner. Because I felt it the next day, because we tried to do, we did 10 rounds on day 3. It doesn't recommend intense workouts. So they do have a 3-day yoga refresh on BOD, which is nice to use to talk about as well. But do one of our low impact options. UV2 is so fun. Hey, you need to wait. Please. I have nothing up here for you. Please stop. Mommy's working. Go get your tablet. Go get your iPad, please. Okay. Yeah. I was doing so good. What was I saying? I don't know. But make sure you take your pictures, your measurements, your starting weight before you start. And also, I would jot down how you feel and things that you're struggling with, right? Because if this is your first cleanse, you might not be super aware of all of the things that change after. I'm not craving sugar anymore. I'm not finding myself in Elsie's candy bowl. I am actually, when I go to the cabinet, and I even have someone who just finished their cleanse today, and I was talking to her about this, and I'm like, listen, you're going to notice yourself going to the cabinet because you can. Stop, pause, ask yourself, do I actually really want that, or am I kind of secretly craving something else that I've been eating for the last couple days? Because you will find your body craving those natural foods still. So it's important that you are aware of that, and then also that you are telling your challenge, your clients, to be aware of those things. And I tell them too, if you're a soda drinker, a pop drinker, I don't know why I said soda. If you're a pop drinker, I don't say soda. I'm from Pittsburgh. So if you take a sip of pop, you're going to taste, I would taste the syrup after every cleanse. And I told people that I struggled with diet pop after I got sober, because it was the thing that I allowed myself to have in the beginning when I would go out to social functions and want to drink. And the cleanse is how I eventually got off of it. But on the failed attempts, not failed attempts with the cleanse, but failed attempts, I would take a sip of it and it would taste gross. And most of the time, you power through that. And so I tell them, it's going to clear your taste buds. It's going to reset your taste buds. So things that you used to think taste good might be too sweet for you now, or it might taste ooh, that doesn't taste like what I remember. Go with that feeling. And it's important to do that for yourself and to share. So what do I have next here? All right, so how to share on social media. So how to share your results. I talked about how to share on social media. You can give a recap on how you're feeling every day on your social media on your page. That would be a good idea. You can throw a meal up there, or you can have a picture of yourself, or you can have a picture of you and your kids, whatever. But share how you felt that day. If you want to do a recap, I think that it's always super important to show people exactly what you're doing. If you're following a cleanse, a strict nutrition plan like that, because then when you invite other people to take advantage or join you, I happened to do a cleanse right before it happened to go on sale for 10% off, and I'm like, cha-ching! Not cha-ching, but yes, also cha-ching. But it makes me excited because the cleanse is great for several reasons. I often suggest adding a cleanse on to people who are getting started if they are someone who quits because they don't see results fast enough. I have the person who finished the cleanse today is exactly like that. And she didn't even take her weight before she started. She took her weight on day 2, and I told her, you probably already lost. And she lost 5 pounds in 2 days. And she's like, holy crap, I needed that. I'm like, right? You needed that win. Make them take their stuff. she said she was just going to shoot, like hold her eyes and take a picture. I said, whatever it takes, girl, whatever it takes. Right? So you need to be the example. You need to be doing these things, and you need to make sure they do. You're their coach. Those results are going to push them forward. You need to make sure that they see them, and you need to help them through. Right? All of it. So if you have people cleansing, check in on them, see how they're doing, of course, if you're not running like, you know, a group, or even if you are running a group. But so I shared my actual results 2 ways. I love this cleanse for the way that it makes me feel. And if, you know, for somebody who struggles with all of the things that I do, quite frankly, you know, I was feeling the quarantine, and I feel amazing now. Like I feel lighter. Like, and that's what everybody says to me. I feel lighter, not like physically light, like not like on the scale lighter, just like lighter. Like there's a weight lifted off my shoulders. Like I don't feel the stress of everything that's happening right now, and who can't use that? Just about anybody. So I went live, and I don't mean you have to go for a big long live, or if you just want to record a little, 5-minute video and share that, whatever. But I think that it's super important for people to see your energy. Now, if you have no energy, please find some before you go live or make your video. But it was a 13-minute video, and you guys know, did it on Facebook, saved it, IGTV, same thing. And that was and the title was just, "This is why I cleanse." And I shared how I feel there, and then I shared the cleanse after the accident, which I was heading down a dark path, and it didn't matter what personal development I did. It didn't matter what I did. I couldn't pull myself out of it. And I had just gone through weeks of narcotics and x-rays and MRIs. And if you've had those things in your life and you've never cleansed, I'm sorry, sweetheart, some of that shit's still in you. So if you've never cleansed, it might be a really awesome experience. Okay? I think you should. I highly recommend. It's great for people who want to get some quick results. Weight loss is not the reason to cleanse. It's not even, the biggest side effect of the cleanse, but it is a side effect of the cleanse. So I tell people on average, I see 3 to 8 pounds lost in 3 days. And again, when I say that, they've seen what I've been eating, and they say to themselves, well, this doesn't look so bad. I could do this. And that's what people are thinking while they're seeing all the food. And then they see the results and they're like, yeah. And then I just get messages like, how much is this cleanse that you do? Right? So we're going to move on to, how do you talk to people about the cleanse? So you take your pictures, or you share someone else's I just ordered this. My team, like my friend Melissa just did this, and holy crap, like she feels like a new woman. Her anxiety, her depression, her pain, it's all better. She even took on homeschooling, like doing the cyber schooling for her child from her husband, who is way more patient than she is. Like, I shared that. I was like, guys, I feel so good. I brought the laptop upstairs and volunteered to take over Elsie's virtual learning. And that is not my forte. Like, that is all Mark. He's the technology person. He is the patient person. And I was like, I got it. I'm feeling good. Like, for people who know me, like, that doesn't happen. I feel good. And it's important to share those things, not just in a picture that shows that I lost 7 inches and 4.5 pounds. Because yes, I did. And those pictures will pull people in, trust me. But it's so much more than that. And I don't want you to miss out on that aspect either. So figure out a way. Maybe you go live in your groups. Maybe you go live in your free group. I don't know. I think you just pull off the Band-Aid and just go live on your page. But to each their own, right? So how do you talk to people about the cleanse and then get them started? I have shared some, I don't want to say scripts, but scripts in my team page for this, and I'll share in BU as well, where I'm going to share this. Excuse me. But basically, no matter what they message me or comment on, I start with, have you ever done a cleanse before? So even if somebody messages me and just flat out asks, which I got today and I shared, in my page is how much is this cleanse that you do or that you did? And I say, well, you have there are a few options. Or actually I said, well, right now it's 10% off, but there are a few options. Have you ever done a cleanse before? Because I want to know, right? Like, I'm their coach. I'm walking through this. I want to know if they've had any experience with a cleanse before in the past. So if it's no, I'm like, cool, this was my first one too. And I usually say like, I didn't want to go without eating, and I couldn't imagine giving up food for any amount of time. And that's usually what I say. People are like, me too. And I'm like, right? And so then I just briefly say, okay, so this is and if the answer is yes, if they've done a cleanse before, then I ask them, how did it make you feel? Did you like it? What kind of a cleanse was it? And, I get mixed results, and it doesn't really totally matter, but I just want to know, and I don't ever want to dismiss, their experience or any of their questions. So if it was a bad experience, we definitely talk about it for a little bit. And if it was just like, it was okay, or maybe they'll even just tell me like I just had somebody say, well, I did a 2-day one. I've done a 2-day one several times before. It works. And she said, and I didn't know if it was like that. And so I just move on. I don't focus and fixate on the other cleanse that they did and why it was wrong and why this one's better. Like, no, this one will speak for itself. I just want to know if they've ever tried cleansing before. I mainly ask them, like, how did it make you feel? And if they're like, yeah, I didn't really notice anything. And I'll be like, okay. We talk about that for a little bit, but then we move on. And I usually just end up moving on into, okay, so this, because we're here to talk about this cleanse, right? I don't know what their cleanse did, and their cleanse got whatever results, but I do know what results I got and how I felt from this cleanse. So that is the only one that I can speak for. And I'm very big on, I only talk about what I have experience with. So I say, okay, so this is basically a 3-day vegan cleanse, and you get to eat real solid food 4 times a day for 3 days. The kit comes with, and I have the wording and I can throw it on this, is the kit comes with a shake with every meal and a mid-morning fiber sweep daily, plus a vegan meal plan. And that's what I say. Does this sound like something you could do? And they're usually like, yeah. Or sometimes they're like, oh yeah, totally. So what's the price? And even if they don't ask for a price, that's where I go next. And then I'm like, okay, so if that sounds like something they can do, they've seen my results, they know about what it's like because I've openly shared and I've given them a little brief overview and they know what they'll be getting. Then I tell them, okay, so right now it's 10% off and you can get, again, I have this in wordage that I can share. It's 10% off and you can get 3 meals of my meal replacement shake for the breakfast and the complete cleanse for $63. Or you can get 30 full meals of my meal replacement shake and the complete cleanse kit for only $160. I personally highly recommend the 30 meals because the whole point of this is, yes, to detox and feel better, but it's a clean slate. And we want to continue the clean, healthy eating, and my meal replacement shake helps me do that. And so especially, we have at least 2.5 weeks left of this, and people are probably going to ease their way back, and it's just nothing but good for you. And then in there, I have a little bit personal about the Shakeology. And again, I'll share the verbiage, but I think it's like, I have a couple examples. I said, there's a Coach Bessie who has celiac, and she never even realized how many other issues she was having and just dealing with on a regular basis until she started drinking Shakeology. 7 days in, she was sleeping like a baby. and so many other issues in her life were clearing up. My sister had chronic stomach pains her entire life, and within a week of drinking Shakeology, they were gone and have been gone since. Personally, I've been drinking it for 6.5 years, and my immune system has never been healthier. I have never been healthier, and my digestive system has never been more regular. And that's it. And then the choice is theirs. And most of them go with the 160. And then from there, I would, again, do that discount coach option that Rachel even shared. I have the wordage. You can search in the team page, discount coach, and it'll pull up. I can also share it below. I have it saved in my Evernote. And it's like, okay, I set you up as a discount member. It's the same price today. It just saves you money it saves you $15 a month if you continue drinking the Shakeology, and we can cancel either way. If you don't, whatever. Really nice, really smooth, and there you have it. Easy peasy. So that is my best tips. And if I'm signing that up as a coach, sometimes I just throw Energize in there, like a tub of it. And I'm like, oh, I threw my mom juice in there too, because you get a 25% discount on it, which you get $20 off. If you sign them up as a coach, it's $30 adding to a challenge pack instead of $50. So I just tell them, oh, I threw in my mom juice. I threw in a tub of my mom juice because it's $20 off to add to your kit today, and it is life. You can take it out if you don't want it, but I'm sure you've seen me drinking it. It is like my secret sauce. So I've just been throwing it in there, and people just buy it. I tell them they can take it out. But I also tell them it's $20 off today, and it is life. And if you've drank Energize, you know it is life. So it's not like I'm like, oh, here, just buy this. It's like, you need this. And that's how I feel about the cleanse. Honestly, I feel like everybody, now pregnant and nursing mothers may not apply, or need not apply. But I feel like everybody could benefit from just clearing it all out with what we're going through. And it was, I can't even explain the mental shift that happened in like a 4-day period. It's crazy. But I didn't even for weeks, I didn't even want to be in front of a live camera. I didn't want to be on my stories. I haven't recorded a podcast in like 2 months. So there are definitely things that were weighing on me. And now I'm like, Mark's like, what do you want to do for your soberversary on Saturday? And I was like, I want to record a podcast. I want to do the things. And I'm focused and I'm motivated and I have more energy, and I've been up at 6 o'clock every day this week instead of 6:30. I'm getting up earlier. So there are definitely so many benefits that I'm feeling, and I will continue to share them. And then also one more tip, and I think I got this from a National Wake Up Call. Actually, it might have been, I don't know, maybe it was a training. I think it was the IG and story thing that I did, but I'm just doing a list. Anytime I send out a share cart, I add their name to that list in my stories. I just have Cleanse Crew. It's Cleanse Crew, and there are 12 or 13 or I think 12 people that I've sent out a cleanse, even if it's just the kit to, I write their name on there, pending if I send out the share cart in typewriter with parentheses. And then when they buy it, I just do a red bolded confirmed over it, circle their name. So I'm always creating FOMO in my stories and be like, we're all there's 12 of us doing this together, it's not just you. And so I think that's been helpful as well. But that's it. Sorry it was long. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you take advantage of the 10% off cleanse offer for yourself personally if you haven't done one. And then share the whole thing, take your before and after, share those too. And share while you're doing it to keep yourself accountable and for them. And I will say on day 2, I woke up and I was like, dang, I feel amazing. And I just took a selfie in my bedroom, closet mirror, and was like, I'm down 3.5 pounds on day 1. And the bloat is gone. And you would not believe how many private messages I got from that. So share when you feel good. Like, I was like, oh, hey, right? So there you have it. Happy cleansing, guys.